Hey YouTube, if you have a Briggs engine, this is a 300E. They make a couple different iterations of it, 550, etc. With this kind of carb and a primer, and it doesn't start. And you've gone through and checked the carb and the main jet and the fuel and everything that it's working. You may have this problem, which is if you look inside there, right in the center is the main jet. Okay, a little hard to see right where that white circly thing is, and then right on top there's like a little something coming up. That's the jet. What I noticed on this one was that when I pushed the button right here and I looked in here, there was nothing coming out of this jet. When you push that button, air goes in here, goes down through here, and it's supposed to go down into the carb, but there's this little white, I guess we'll call it a barb on here, and it's open. It's open in the back right there where it's pointing to that fuel line. It's not attached to anything, it's just there, it's open. Well, what I noticed was when I pushed the button and the air went through that line and came through 1 prime. If I covered that end right there with my finger and tried it again, it would prime. So it was also the piece itself, this little white piece right here was popped off of here, so I snapped it back on. But like I said, I needed to hold this closed while I pushed the button and primed to get this to prime up. So without it priming, it was hard to start. It would eventually start after multiple pulls, and it would run fine. So really, it's just this simple setup. I don't know what this barb really is for. It looks like this should almost attach to a hose, and some tanks like these do have a connection for venting, but this one doesn't. So whether there's supposed to be a hose that comes down and connects here, I don't know. There's nowhere on this tank to connect to. There's nowhere to connect here. So I did just temporarily cap this off just by putting some tape over here. But I didn't think it was too much of a permanent fix. And also this little thing was coming off, unsnapping. And once that unsnaps, then there's a big air leak right here. So what I'm going to do is, with some plastic welding, I'm going to actually try to weld this so it doesn't come off, and weld this end so that it closes this air hole. So I'm using this soldering iron, which I used in a previous plastic welding repair video. Caution on this, that you don't want to have gas or anything. There's no open flame, but this is hot. I'm just going to want to see if I could maybe heat up these two pieces, just to kind of tack these together. And then on this end, I'm going to try to get in here. I'll get a look to see if that's sealed up. Well, one way we can test it out is to put the cover back on here and see if it's priming. Okay, it is priming. I can't really do it too well with one hand. Let me put the cover on and let's see if I can get it that way. Okay, everything's hooked up. That's the little jet. Okay, I want to see if you see a squirt of fuel coming up there when I press this. So it is priming now. So that's it. I have no idea what that little port is for, and I have no idea why this needs to be done. Maybe they switched to a cap on that now and they don't use that.